Hello and good morning, people. We're going right into it this morning. This morning is definitely a bucking bronco, everybody. Okay, I gotta maintain so I don't go insane in the membrane. Let me start a little music so I can think. That's nice. Okay, so what are we doing right now? I guess what I'm doing right now is let's call it the pre-show. Today is the pre-show. I'll be recording episode 193 of the ChicagoTonyV Show podcast, as I normally do. Only today was supposed to be a Reddit day, and instead what happened is I'm on Twitch/YouTube/Twitter because Reddit would not let me stream this morning. What does this mean? Why did this happen? What is going on? I'm kind of the king of Reddit, as you guys know. Good morning, Amber. Very nice gold medal podium finish, dear. Why am I not surprised? So today's going to be really quite a bit of a bucking bronco. We're calling this, again, the pre-show. I'm thrown off for sure. This is going to be a very good test of my mettle. Going to be a good test. Reddit wouldn't let me stream this morning. Don't know why. They gave me a very nondescript error message. I wonder if I have to look up what the error message, I can't even remember what it said, but it was very nondescript. And it's like when the thing works 192 times in a row, there may have been one time where I couldn't live stream on Reddit, maybe once. But in 192 shows, when it doesn't work, you start to just think, oh my gosh, what happened? What's going on? What's the story? Remains to be seen. Don't you wonder? It seems like in this day and age, now it's possible that the story is, I'm out. I said something wrong. This has happened. Do I need to, I was able to log into Reddit this morning, but no live streaming. Can't do it. We'll see. Remains to be seen. Thank goodness. Isn't it nice that we did all this prep work? It's going to be interesting, though. Amber, this could be some real crickets this morning. It's going to be a good test. Amber, what if it's just you and me back and forth? I think that would be lovely. Surely there's a bunch of stuff that you and I need to take a deeper dive on. We'll see. I don't know. Anyway, T-minus 12 minutes and counting. Actually, this morning should have been a bad omen anyway because of all things. Now, I'm particular with my coffee. And this morning, the way I'm particular is I won't put just tap water. You shared this to our subreddit. Thank you, Amber. That's very nice. Very nice. Lord knows, it's going to be total crickets because people expect me to be over at Reddit and whatever. I'm really so frustrated by the Reddit people. I really am. There's some days where it just feels like, do they really care? Like, do they want our pan to really survive? Lady letter carrier, good morning, dear. Good to see you. Good to see you. It was just a little party with Amber and myself, which is great. Well, what do they say? The more the merrier. We're calling this the pre-show. Yes, so it's like, do the Reddit people even care? They're kicking so many people off, and it wouldn't let me stream this morning. So I'm going to have to follow up today and I guess figure out, okay, am I some sort of banned now? Wouldn't that be something? I've got to be one of the more prolific live streamers on Reddit, I would think. Just with the regularity. I know there's some people that do it all the time like me, but I've got to be up there. So who knows? Maybe there's something I said yesterday that didn't sit well. I don't know. I got to check into it. So lady can either chat, but when she chats, she can't hear the stream. I'm with you, lady. That's super weird. That doesn't even make sense. What are you watching us in, lady? Are you in Twitch? You might try hopping on YouTube instead. I don't really know. Hop on YouTube or even Twitter. I'm Chicago Tony. What am I? Yeah, Chicago Tony on Twitter. I don't know. That's a weird one. We'll have to take that up with the technology geniuses in our Discord, huh? It's one of those weird things. Let's see. T-minus 10 minutes and counting. It's going to be an interesting show. A very good test for the Big Diesel. A very good test. Sometimes you need to prove your mettle. I think just the fact, see, now you guys wouldn't necessarily maybe think of this or notice this or whatever, but the widescreen setup, even just logistically here in Studio B, is a little bit different from the RPAN setup. So I had Studio B set up to do RPAN, of course. And then when Reddit crapped out on me at the last minute, it's like, oh my God. Now I got to do the different setup. So I had to change up the lights, the positioning of the camera, all the positioning of stuff. Some things change. So, frantic. But at least I still got on in time to do a pre-party. It's one of those things. One of those things. But as I said, I think it's going to be a good test. I've been doing a lot of watching other podcasters lately. And it's so funny because what I like to do is I like to look at other guys and then use it as a way to be critical of myself. Like I was watching, just this morning, I was watching Decent Takes. And which is a good pod. I think I even tweeted about Decent Takes this morning. I think they do a really good job. They're working really hard. I was watching them this morning, and I was just thinking to myself, oh, they're better spoken than I am. I do more ums and uhs than they do. They're more polished. This is the way that I torture myself. Well, what do you know? The beautiful, the talented, the elusive RoboKitty's in the house. Good morning, RoboKitty. What a deal. Reddit kicked me in the nuts this morning. And so I took my toys and I went elsewhere. I went over to Twitch, etc., etc., etc. So anyway, yeah, let's see. T-minus 7 minutes before we start recording the show. So yes, I've been watching other podcasters as a way. I like to torture myself from time to time. I guess truth be told, if I'm really being honest, so Robo, what happened with Reddit is it wouldn't let me stream at all. I got everything set up just like I do every freaking morning. I pulled up my RPAN software just like I do every morning. Now one thing I noticed is usually the title, yesterday's title is preloaded today. It wasn't this morning. It's like, that's weird. Well, so I retyped in the title and said, let's go, just like I do every morning. Error. And then I thought, well, do I have internet? Well, so no, I was able to log into Reddit itself and do other stuff. So I have internet. It just wouldn't let me stream. I don't know. There's maybe a chance that that I pissed off the overlords, right? The overlords of correctness, etc., etc. Maybe there's something I said yesterday that was really, I don't know, hurtful. Tank's in the house. Good morning, Tank. Bucking Bronco. Yeah, so Reddit kicked, wouldn't let me go this morning. So we'll see. Who knows? Thank God. Now this is funny. This is funny. I don't have the Deer Slayer with me. Don't you wonder if this is going to go more smoothly than my previous Friday shows? I think there's a real good chance that it will. I didn't even try to call Vinny. There's no fucking way he's going to pick up. It's like I'm just doing it by myself. Boom, here we go. None of that pre-roll stuff that he likes to do. I just fired up whatever this is, Melon, and just started talking to the camera just like I do on Reddit. Yeah, Tank, Reddit just wouldn't let me stream. I don't know. I don't know yet if there's a technical glitch or like maybe I'm lifetime banned. We'll see. We'll see. It allowed me to log in this morning to Reddit. But, you know. Did you click U Show by accident? No, it wouldn't even load the list of subreddits to choose from. It wouldn't even load that for me. I restarted. I did all that bullshit. And here we are. Let's see. T-minus 4 minutes and counting. So whatever. I mean, in a certain way, it's like maybe this. I mean, who knows? I've always wondered when, you know, where's the show gonna end up? Where's the show gonna end up? You know, the show. We can always do a pre-party on Reddit and all that stuff. At least I thought I could. Who knows? Maybe I'm banned from Reddit. Tank likes the Twitch better anyway. Tank's giving a vote for Twitch. So who knows? Maybe the show is moving over to Twitch, etc. sooner than I thought. Maybe this is fate intervening. I don't know. Robo Kitty, I hope you're rested now. These past couple days have been long-ass days, I'm sure. With the new Hell on Earth, Scorched Earth policy in New York City. In their great wisdom, they have implemented. I've actually talked to some friends around the country, and it's like the same. The shit's happening everywhere. People are, oh God. Don't get me on my soapbox. T-minus 3 minutes and counting. We'll see how I do today, people. We'll see how I do. Let's see. I'm going to have to remember today to at least encourage phone calls. Because maybe that'll save my bacon a little bit. Maybe that'll save my bacon. Oh, that's interesting. When I add a comment, or when I highlight a comment, then that now taking phone calls thing goes away. Now, what is this all about, Tank? Tank says, I love everyone's Halloween costumes. Was that from the Discord are you talking about? I went as a disgruntled Bears fan, says Tank. That's awesome. Yeah, there's something about that Justin Fields, Tank, that I don't like. There's something about his demeanor on the sidelines when he's sitting on the bench. He just doesn't look like anything's bothering him, which normally in a way that would be good. But what I mean is, like, it's not eating at him that he's losing. I think if it were Twinkle Toes Tom Brady sitting over there as a rookie on the bench, I think he would have been sitting there just saying to himself, fuck this shit, I will not lose. You know, I think this Fields kid is a little soft. So yeah, it was from the Discord, Tank. That's weird. I don't remember seeing a whole lot of costumes on the Discord. Maybe I didn't look closely enough. I posted my thing is that essentially I'm an Amish guy, but I dress like that sometimes. Change my header, huh? Change my header from hello everybody and Indeed to now taking phone calls. That is a great idea, Amber Glow. Great idea. That's it. Thank you. You guys helped me out so much. And that's not something I'm going to be able to do today. It's 7 o'clock, so let's go ahead and get this shit show. Let's get this thing underway. So we can. Is everyone ready? Places in our makeshift Chicago Tony V show. Okay, here we go. It's going to be a test. Here we go. Everyone ready? Okay, here we go. Hello, everybody, and indeed, welcome to another edition of the Chicago Tony V show. Welcome to episode 193. Boy, are we getting close to episode 200. It's uncanny. What are we going to do? How are we going to celebrate? Who knows? It's probably too late to even start thinking about that. Let's start some music. Just for the record, today is Wednesday, hump day. It's 7 a.m. Eastern Standard right now. And today is November 3rd. I couldn't remember what month it is. Today is November 3rd. Time marches on, doesn't it? We were talking about Halloween outfits right before we went live on the show. This is in the pre-show. Today is really a lot of drama. Just for you Spotify listeners who probably couldn't care less, I'll just recap just so you guys are, just so whatever I say on the show is maybe going to make more sense. So Reddit would not let me live stream this morning. It's funny, I was just saying the other day, if there were like a cocktail party at Reddit corporate and I walked in, I was surmising that at least someone would recognize me. Someone in amongst the Reddit higher-ups, someone that probably keeps an eye on RPAN or something, would be like, oh, there's that hat guy, right? I was surmising that. And now just, here it is, a couple days later, now I can't even live stream on the goddamn thing. So it is what it is. So we're streaming through now Twitch and YouTube and Twitter and all that stuff. So we get the widescreen. And we're going to go with that. We're going to see how it goes. It's going to be a bucking bronco, but that's okay. Sometimes when you get comfortable, you need to be shaken up a little bit. It reminds me of a Chappelle. I was watching a Chappelle, I think his latest special, and he was saying early in the special, he's like, you know what? I'm thinking about quitting comedy because I'm bored, because I'm so good. He's like, I know every show I do is going to be very well received. Now, I'm not saying that about my show, etc., etc., but I will say I'm very comfortable. I'm not, it's funny, I'm not necessarily proud of the quality level. I'm proud-ish of the quality level. It's like I'm proud enough. It doesn't keep me up at night. I'm good enough. I want to be better, but I'm kind of good enough. I'm able to sleep at night. But this curveball that I got today, it's kind of exciting because normally I can do this show in my sleep in a way. I'm not saying it's good, but what I do, I can do in my sleep. So blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Happy hump day, everybody. So I had I just wanted to show you guys. I think I was showing books yesterday, if I remember correctly. I had a purchase from Amazon come in that I'm very excited about. Now, I've explained, for anyone that's new today, I'll just try to recap really, really quickly. I like to buy books. I like to buy books more than I like to read books. So sometimes I buy a book. It's going to sit on my shelf for a long time before I get to it. And also, I have this ongoing, lifelong project of curing myself of cancer, hopefully way before I have cancer. But I've just always, I was saying the other day, I look at life from a perspective of, look, I'm probably going to get it, so why don't I research it now? Well, I have really now what I believe to be my most important book in my collection of this whole lifelong thing. It came yesterday from Amazon. Here it is. Cancer as a, let's get it to focus. Focus, you mofo. Cancer as a metabolic disease. I wonder why my camera won't focus on that. There we go. Cancer as a metabolic disease. This is from Thomas Seyfried, Seyfried. This dude is, I first saw this guy lecture on cancer, I don't know, several years ago. And it's like, it's making too much sense. You know how something like, cancer is this boogeyman, right? We pour billions upon billions upon billions into it every single year. The war on cancer. And if you're ever paying attention, at some point you got to say to yourself, why isn't anything making sense? It doesn't really feel like it's making much sense. Well, I saw this Thomas Seyfried. He first made his bones. I think he was dealing with epileptic children, and then he switched over to cancer. I think so there might be something about he came at this from an outside perspective that maybe gave him an advantage. But it's one of the very few times where I'm watching a lecture and it's like, God damn, this guy's actually making sense, and more sense and more sense. It's like, everything he was saying. It's like, oh, all these other pieces fall into place when he explains it this way. So I became a real fan of his. Now, it's funny. I have learned over time that there are certain books like this where they're almost like holy grail books in a certain topic. I think this is one of the cancer holy grail books. Cancer as a metabolic disease. I said on a show a long time ago that the secret is in the mitochondria of the cell. That's where the rubber really hits the road of cancer. Well, I got it from Seyfried, from his lectures. Now, what I've noticed about when you get a holy grail book on a certain topic, one of the ways you can tell that you're on the right track is they're insanely overpriced. So this is not a particularly big hardcover book. I don't know how many pages it is. It's let's say it's maybe 300 pages. It's not all that heavy for a hardcover. This thing was like $150. And I've seen way worse. Before I forget, let's get to Tank's music homework today. Oh, it's the Bee Gees Jive Talking. Oh my God. I can hear it in my head. That's a jam. Tremendous pick, Tank. Thank you, sir. That's wonderful. So, yes, there are these holy grail books, and you can tell that the powers that maybe shouldn't be sometimes don't want us to read these books. Like there's a book about the basically the crack epidemic. I believe the book is called Barry and the Boys. Barry and the Boys. As a matter of fact, what the hell? Let me look it up on Amazon right now. Barry and the Boys. And so historically, this is one of those books. Barry Seal was a pilot importing drugs into America for the CIA. I believe Tom Cruise just did a movie based on his story, which of course that means it's going to be bullshit. It's not going to be real. Let me see. Barry and the Boys. Let's see what it costs today. Oh, Barry and the Boys, the CIA, the mob, and America's secret history. That book is $189 today. $189. If you've ever heard, so that's a little indication that I might want to pick that book up because they don't want me to have the book. Tank says, "I am the mitochondria of music." Yes, you are, sir. See, you're learning. You're reinforcing this idea through your humor. You're helping everyone remember, I need to be worried about my mitochondria. That's what it's really about. So, anyway, now what the hell was I talking about? I remember there was have you ever heard the hullabaloo about this glyphosate stuff? which is they spray over all the crops, and it's causing all sorts of apparently digestive problems and in livestock and in people that are eating it's this whole fucking thing. I think it was Monsanto maybe. Anyway, I found a book. And it was on Amazon, and it was some sort of project. It seemed like an official-ish book. I can't remember where it came. I'll have to look it up and post it to Twitter. But this thing was like $1,000 to buy this book, and I think I almost fucking bought it just because it's like I want to see what's in that goddamn book. Why don't you want me to own it? I'm gonna pony up, but then I think what I finally determined is it's not like I'm gonna be able to do anything about it. Lord knows what's in that book. I'm sure something very damning. I'm sure they caught the industry red-handed or something like that. So I would plop down $1,000 to get the book. I'd read The Secret, and there wouldn't be a goddamn thing that I could do about it. You know? Tank says, I'm still mad at Brianna's selfish letter yesterday. Selfish twat waffle. Now let's see. She must have been the one about the baby shower. She was at her cousin's baby shower. The cousin lost the baby later, and then she wants to know, when can I ask her to get my money back or get the gift back? It is one of the most horrible letters. You know, it's funny you mentioned that, Tank, because I was thinking about that too later yesterday, and here was my thought. I thought, was I not mean enough to her? Because she is a person, I don't want her to listen to the show anymore, right? She doesn't deserve it. It's just, please move on to something else. And so that was my regret. So I guess maybe now that we're talking about her 2 shows in a row, in the off chance that she's still listening, now she's going to hear it again. Selfish. Who knows what's in the mailbag today? We can only surmise. I'm trying to think of if I can think of any of these, any other of these like Holy Grail books. I keep a list. There's I gotta. You know how you can do lists in Amazon? Somewhere I think I have a list of books that I've sort of earmarked for, one day when I gotta hair up my ass, I'm gonna buy that book. I wonder what the most expensive book I've ever gotten is. I think it was a set, if I had to think about it. I saw a speech once by a retired colonel, Fletcher Prouty. Colonel Fletcher Prouty. And this guy mentioned these books, this set of books out of China. Oxford University, who, of course, they kind of run the world, basically. Or it's part of the system, the machine. They did some huge study on China way back in the day. And, of course, now it's a very loaded time to even be talking about this. So to make it clear, I'm talking about these books were written, I think, in the 50s or 60s. Well, Fletcher Prouty said he was talking about that volume of books. Because I think someone asked him, like, who runs the world? He would have been asked this like in the 80s maybe. And part of his answer was, well, maybe the Chinese actually are more prominent than you think. And he goes into a story from these books out of Oxford. I have the set. I think I have it at Studio A. And he says back in the day, he said for centuries, the way they gathered information, of course, there was a big trade route through China, right? So they had people going in and out all the time. And he said they had this system where people could come to this gathering place and they would just verbally like tell shit they knew. You know, so you'd get a guy from I don't know, whatever, some guy from Saudi Arabia comes through, and they'd be like, "Hey, come here to this pavilion and tell us about camel husbandry or whatever. Just whatever you know about. Please tell us about this." Okay, so the guy would come in, he would spout his knowledge, and he would go. Now, of course, this is way before microphones, electricity, right? So how did they record this thing? They had to have a guy sitting there writing shit. Now, here's the interesting thing that is mentioned in that book that made me buy it. He said they had a way where, again, this hub where they would have people speak, almost like lecture. This was, I guess, a known thing way back in those days. People coming through, if they had something to share, they'd just go spout it at this place. Here's what got me to buy the set. They had a way, the Chinese, this is hundreds of years ago, they had a way where one guy could listen to, I think he said, up to 6 speeches at the same time. He could have 6 people talking, and this Chinese dude could accurately record all 6 speeches. How the fuck did they do this? That was so interesting to me that I bought the whole set. Maybe I'll tweet about it if I ever get back to Studio A. That set is sitting in my desk, actually, inside my desk. It's like a 6 or 7 volume. It's like this wide. I couldn't do that on Reddit with the narrow screen. I paid probably $1,000, I'll bet, for that set. Just for that one little thing. I wanted to see if inside of it, did they explain how these guys did that? And you know what's funny? I haven't read that far yet because I don't read entire books all at once. I jump around all the time. Anyway, cancer is a metabolic disease. I'll have you know, too. RoboKitty will be happy to hear. And I showed a book yesterday. This Seafried is very high on ketogenic diet. He says carbs feed these cancer cells and stuff. Bada bing, the stars are aligning. Pretty exciting. What the hell time is it? 7:17. So far, no Deer Slayer is no problem. I'm not saying this is a great show, but I did just notice. Okay, so I don't have my mailbag. Okay, thank God. There it is. All right. So I was kicking around early. I got up at 3 this morning. This is a problem. I'm starting this trend. It's just way too early to get up. And then I wonder why I need to go to sleep, by 8 p.m. Anyway, I was kicking around the internet because I had so much extra time, and I saw a couple of stories. I tweeted them out at Chicago Tony is my Twitter account. One, it's just little bits of evidence here that we're trying to build into a case over time. So one more robotic domino has fallen. White Castle thinks a robot can make better French fries. That's what they say. This was an article. Let's see if I still have it up. Yes, White Castle thinks a robot can make better French fries. This was on CNN Business. It's harder than you might think to deliver French fries that aren't too crispy or soggy. Just ask the burger chain White Castle. Oh well, gee, I'm so sorry that fucking White Castle. What have they been? They've been doing this shit for like 100 years now, right? Where was the first White Castle? I think it was in Indianapolis, Indiana, wasn't it? Home of the greatest spectacle in racing. How these businesses ever survived? where they must have been just wasting tons of potatoes every day trying to get it right. It's such a tricky fucking business. Timing is key, the article says. Fries need to be in oil for the right amount of time. But employees in fast food restaurants are often subject to a flurry of distractions in the kitchen, which is hot and noisy. Gets even more hectic during peak times. Well, I mean, how did they ever make a good French fry? It's really a miracle. These people were so overtaxed, I'm sure, to make a French fry. Robo Kitty says, White Castle, I'm getting abdominal cramps just thinking about it. You know, I've never had White Castle in my life. But I'm actually like, I'm a little offended by this article, if I'm being honest. I mean, how fucking dumb do they think we are? I mean, all right, this timing of French fry thing, right? I mean, these fry baskets are automated, aren't they? Doesn't everyone have that shit? You put it down, but there's some sort of little timer. And then so when the time is up, the basket rises up. I don't think that it even requires a person to be there and present. But let's say it does. You've been making French fries for 100 years. How hard can it fucking be? How did you stay in business all this time? You know, before you had machines, loving, caring machines to do this, to bring us to the perfect French fry. How did we do it before? I kind of take offense. What they need to do is just say, yeah, people cost more money. We're sick of this shit. We save money everywhere. We don't have to pay overtime. We don't have to pay them. And there's no HR yet. One of these days, these robots are going to become self-aware, and I wish I were around to see that. What's wrong with Amber's mitochondria, Robo? Was there? Let's see what Tank says. Tank says they can't reprogram the machines, so they try to reprogram us. Prophetic. I totally agree. I am worried about Amber's mitochondria. Oh, Amber says my mitochondria isn't functioning well. Well, Amber, it's your lucky day. If that's really true, this Thomas Seyfried, author of the tremendous groundbreaking book, Cancer is a Metabolic Disease. If you want mitochondria health, well, two things you can do. Two quick paths to better mitochondria health. One, ketogenic diet, so go low carb. But the ultimate is actually fasting, water fasting. So if you combine the two, bada bing, you're not going to be complaining about your mitochondria on my show anytime ever after. Sorry, Robo, that you had to type that again. Mitochondria is the energy source of the cell, correct? Yes, essentially. And what Seyfried proves, and of course, the tragedy is this was actually understood, I think, in the 40s or some shit. I think it was Warburg that actually was the scientist that figured this all out. And he was on his way. Well on his way. There was basically one piece that Seyfried added that I think it was Warburg didn't have yet. But I mean, he was well on his way, and the whole industry just said, no, it's genetics. It's genetics. We're going to look at genes. Well, it's not genetics. Yeah, the mitochondria is the energy center of the cell. And what happens with cancer cells is they switch they switch to fermentation. There's really two ways you can get energy, I guess, and the cancer cells use fermentation. So it's a lack of oxygen, and they use glucose. They ferment glucose to get their energy. That's what a cancer cell will do. Wait, we need story time with Uncle Tony? What is that? Is that something I used to do? Oh, what am I doing wrong then because I do both? Well, what makes you think you have a bad mitochondria? How do you know they're not functioning well? Tell me more, maybe. I don't know, Amber. Oh, my God. Hey, disclaimer. I'm not a medical person. I'm not giving medical advice. I don't know shit. Finally, Robo's trying to save me. I think Amber was joking. Whatever. Bucking Bronco. So anyway, the White Castle Fry thing, it's just more our robot overlords, coming to get us. I didn't like that article. What time is it? 7:26. Screw it. Let's switch over to the mailbag, see what's in there. Happy hump day, everyone. Hey, I want to remind you, anyone that wants to write in to the mailbag, just send it to the email address is ChicagoTonyV like vegetable @gmail.com. And your mail will get on the show if it's reasonable. It'll get on the show eventually. Okay, it's taking us. We're a little backlogged. Let's do some damage today. Dear Tony, I'm a sophomore in college and I'm going to be. Those three words are in caps. Going to be a gymnastics coach for a career. So I think this person is very determined. That's why that was capitalized. Is my guess. I'm going to be a gymnastics coach for a career. I can't wait. It's the passion of my life. In the meantime, though, my grades are suffering because I'm taking classes that have nothing to do with gymnastics. Why do I need to take a history class when I'm going to be a gymnastics coach? My parents are giving me all sorts of shit about my grades, which only stresses me out more. I worry about the effect these non-related courses will have on my GPA and so my career. I feel trapped. I don't know if you have any ideas, but at least I got my feelings out. This is from Kelly from Bloomington, Indiana. Bloomington, Indiana. So you got to be going to good old IU. So you're going to be a gymnastics instructor. You're at Indiana University. That's my alma mater, as a matter of fact. Plumber's in the house. Good morning, Plumber. All right, so Kelly, thank you for your letter. All right, so you want to be a gymnastics instructor, which is great. I always admire people that they know darn well what they want to do, even when they're young. This is great. This is an advantage. Now the thing is, okay, so why are you taking a history class when you're going to be a gymnastics instructor? I would answer it this way, Kelly. Because you need to be a somewhat well-rounded human being. Okay? This is not about a career. This is about being a good human and a good citizen. Now, unfortunately, I went to IU, right? But I could say it about 99% of other colleges, whatever. Now, unfortunately, the history stuff you're getting is mostly bullshit, right? So if you really want to really know history, it's going to take a lot more work. You don't strike me as the kind of person that is probably going to do that. You want to perfect your triple twirl half pike, right? Off the balance beam, which is fine. God love you. But I'm saying don't disparage. You got to be well-rounded. That's number one. And then number two, Tank is on to something here. Tank says, your GPA doesn't matter for your career. My buddy is a nurse and said they want their medication and have never asked about his GPA. Yes, you're going to be a gymnastics instructor. Where is the scenario where you're trying to get a job in gymnastics instructing? And they're going to be like, okay, but looks great. You got great experience. You You had a great career yourself, you know, but how did you do in calculus? It's not going to happen. That's not the way the world works, Kelly. No one's going to ask you your GPA. And, you know, it is the way it is. Tell little Emily to do a somersault and shut the fuck up, says Tank. Right. I mean, now I don't mean this disparaging to Kelly, but your job is mostly, depending upon what age group you're coaching, but most of your job is going to be babysitting. Okay, so I mean that in a loving way. I'm not trying to be disparaging. I think I admire you for knowing what career you want to do, but all I'm saying is, you know, no one's going to be like, how'd you do on that social studies test? No, that doesn't exist. Now, I realize that your parents are all freaked out. That's what parents do. They think that grades matter because what else are they going to do? And it is what it is. Kelly, good luck. I hope I helped you in some way. I figure probably not, but maybe. Anyway, go IU. Hopefully they have a good basketball season this year. Okay, next letter. Hey, Big Diesel. You might be my guy for an inside tip or two. If you had to pick up an altcoin to be the next Ethereum, Doge, is that the Doge thing? Doge, D-O-G-E. Etc. Which would you buy? If you had to pick an altcoin to be the next Ethereum, Doge, etc., which would you buy? I know you got contacts that know what's up. I want you to spill them beans, Big Diesel. I got to seriously get to the next level as soon as Does that mean as soon as possible? I assume it does. I'm sick of eating at Hardee's, bro. On the for real. This is from This is from Special K. Well, were your parents a big fan of cereal? Wait a minute. I think I know a beautiful medic that might love Special K. Am I right? All the pepperonis are talking about the weather. This must be the most boring mailbag ever. My friend Special K, thank you for your letter. And probably because, I mean, maybe you can tell already, I'm not a crypto guy. I'm not going to be able to help you. But I'm going to give you a person like you. And God love you for having, you want to get ahead. All right? I'm going to give you what I think is some very valuable advice. I'm going to tell it like it is. All right? What you should probably be doing is, and this is an investment, straight up investment. I'm not even kidding. You need to take whatever extra money you can scrounge together and buy cans of tuna and boxes of spaghetti. Now, that seems like bullshit, and I'm not. And it seems like I'm talking down to you. I'm not. It's a hedge against inflation, which is already here. It's getting worse. If you're reading between the lines, that all this supply chain shit is fucking everything up. So, I mean, why do you want to hit it big with the next altcoin? It's because you want to be able to eat, right? Right, Special K? Okay? That's really what it is. So you want to eat. Okay, so I'm giving you a shortcut to that. Buy it now while it still exists. Hide some tuna and spaghetti under your bed and thank your lucky stars that you wrote into me. No one's going to be able to tell you what's the next big altcoin. Oh, I was right. RoboKitty says Special K is my favorite cereal. See how attentive and interested I am in RoboKitty. Oh, here's something interesting from Tank. Tank says, I saw a news story that said they're training teens to be truck drivers. I mean, they got to train somebody. You know? I mean... Oh, Plumber says the stores were empty pretty much here Monday. Where are you again, Plumber? I can't remember. That's interesting. I was at the store the other day, and there, certain areas are a little scant. Lady letter carrier just says, don't. And then she says it again. Don't. Oh, I don't really care for tuna. All right. No problem, lady. That's good to know. See, I'm going to tuck that away in my brain, just like I remembered Robo loves Special K. I'm going to remember Lady Letter Carrier does not care for tuna. So at our first in-person Monster Jam, right, pepperoni Monster Jam, I'm going to make sure it's not all tuna. I assume maybe, is it all fish in general? You know, speaking of fish, I've really been on a fish kick. It's been insane. North Carolina, Plumber? Plumber's in North Carolina, and the shelves are scant. Oh, Big Jojo 2020, welcome to the show. Big Jojo says, having an 18-year-old behind a big rig doesn't sound safe. You know what? I'm going to agree with you. What sounds less safe is not having things delivered at all. That sounds pretty less safe. So my feeling is like, if this is all we can do is get a teenager behind the wheel, I say, okay, let's go do it. Oh my gosh, Plumber says his wife had to go to 3 stores to get groceries in North Carolina. Some scary shit. Plumber, are you how urban versus rural are you? Because one of the things I've heard is the stores in the outskirts, they're really thinning out. Like they're not getting the they're bringing the supplies, concentrating the supplies to the cities is what I've heard. Lady Letter Carrier likes fried cod, shrimp, scallops. You know, I had some shrimp yesterday. I have a beautiful dear friend who was talking about shrimp the other day, and it put it in my brain, and then so I bought some shrimp. Let's see. Lady Letter Carrier says, geez, what's up with that? That sounds really Orwellian. Yeah, remains to be seen. We'll see. Anyway, did I answer this letter now? I've totally lost my place. Oh, yeah. Just buy. It doesn't have to be tuna. Buy Spam, buy tuna, buy a can of Manwich shit. I don't know. Can of chili, something. Protein. And pasta. Now, I'm a low-carb guy, but we're talking about shit hits the fan situation, okay? All right, Special K? All right. All right. Did your parents name you Special K, or is this something that emerged later in life? I hope, like Christ, it's the latter. Dear Tony, can you suggest any great books that deliver that life-changing perspective? In other words, what books do you remember reading where you were never the same afterwards? Love the show. This is from Kip from Troy, Ohio. Well, I got one right next to me. I'm a big fan. Cancer as a Metabolic Disease by Thomas Seyfried. Okay. What's another one? And I've talked about it a little bit before. The Underground History of American Education by John Taylor Gatto. Once again, that's The Underground History of American Education by John Taylor Gatto. Every American, or even every Westerner, should read that book. It is life-changing. What's another book? There's one called Bury Me Standing. Bury Me Standing. That was kind of life-changing for me. I can't remember the author, but it's about gypsies. It's about the history of gypsies and kind of how they live. And I just found it. It was one of the most uplifting, wonderful books. Bury Me Standing. So those are ones that come to mind. Trying to think of anything else. There's a book called The Rise and Fall of Diamonds. The Rise and Fall of Diamonds by Epstein. It's about the this guy took a real close look at the diamond industry and proved it's fascinating. These things are worthless. We are made to believe that they are super rare, and they're like totally not. They have so many diamonds stored up. They don't have to dig another diamond up for like the next 2,000 years. Fascinating book. Okay, how are we doing on time? 7:40. I got to eke out 20 more minutes of some sort of entertainment. Let me see what's in the... Does anyone else have any book? Tank says the instruction book of life. All right, so Plumber, getting back to this we're all starving topic, Plumber says, so I'm on the outskirts of heavily populated areas. People are moving here faster than the infrastructure can keep up. Outskirts of heavily populated. So they're kind of trying to get out of the cities, Plumber? That seems to be a real big trend. And frankly, I mean, it's something I'm thinking about too. Lady says, Plumber, that makes sense. I bet your schools are overwhelmed. Yeah. I mean, if a bunch of people are switching up the demographics, yeah, that's going to take a while, especially during this whole, supply chain stuff. Yeah, and so Lady says, yes, the diamond cartel makes it an artificial shortage. This is true. The book is fascinating. The Rise and Fall of Diamonds by Epstein. It was the De Beers cartel. And, I mean, you would never believe it's true, but he walks you through it, and it's actually true. They were able to basically take this worldwide supply of diamonds, which, as I said, they are, I mean, you don't even have to dig for these damn things in certain parts of the world. They were able to just funnel all that stuff down into literally one building, I think in South Africa. They were able to get for all intents and purposes, the entire diamond supply filtered into one freaking, it was like a 6-story building. And then diamond merchants would have to buy from that building. The world supply, it's a crazy story. Everyone has to read it. Ooh, Tank says there will be a mass exodus in Chicago if they drop the work for Chicago. Love in Chicago rule. Oh, yeah. So right now, if you work for the city or whatever, you have to live in the city. Is that what you're saying? Look where the police live, says Lady. As close to the burbs as possible. Yep. This is just, an ongoing challenge. I want the world to be boring again. It's very not boring right now. Let's see. Okay, dear Tony, I'm a year into practicing law, and I'm finding that I absolutely hate it. It's not at all like what I had envisioned. The problem is, my wife stood by me all through law school and supported me all those years. We've racked up a ton of debt. Every ounce of my soul wants to get out and do something else, but I just can't bring myself to even mention it to my wife. What do I do? Any ideas? This is from Rob from Louisville, Kentucky. That's a tough one, Robbie. That's a tough one. Now, I mean, I'll just say, now this is with my personality and my way of thinking and whatever. I could never imagine even considering law. It's just not how I'm wired. Anything where someone has to bury their head in books and papers and documents for so long, it just doesn't appeal to me. But that's beside the point. There was obviously something you wanted to do it. You had this vision. You're obviously smart. You got through law school. You're a practicing attorney for, what'd you say, a year? Really sucks that you hate it. But, I mean, I would kind of say, for me, I would say I agree with, you know, I'm glad you haven't just bailed on this thing and just told your wife tough shit. So you have a conscience. You have this sense of kind of what's fair. And I agree with Plumber. Plumber says, you're stuck, buddy. Time to tighten your suspenders and make some dough. I mean, yes, sort of. But what I would say is because you're a smart person, right? And someone that gets through law school, it means you're smart. So there are going to be other ways that you can make the kind of income that you're making now. So all is not lost. But I do think you're going to have to go through this process of hanging in there. Okay, you gotta don't quit your job and go work at Trader Joe's in the checkout. Okay, don't do that. Stick with it. Help keep paying off that debt, and maybe network with other people. Lawyers who realize they hate the law, they're a dime a dozen. You have to have other smart friends who got out and did something else lucrative-ish, and you know. So all is not lost. Be creative. Give it your best shot. Stick to it, but don't bail. Don't bail. Good luck, Rob. Okay, let's see what else we got. Dear Tony, just being honest, I'm young and I don't understand girls yet, but I'm extremely interested. Like, I don't know how to ask a girl to be your girlfriend. Is there a way to say it to improve the odds that they will say yes? I'm not the best looking guy, but I'm somewhere in the middle. Any advice would be a great help. This is from Chaz D. That's got to be one of the sweetest letters I've ever gotten. Chaz. Oh, man. With a name like Chaz, I mean, you're supposed to be... The name Chaz, you're supposed to be really, really with it, right? You're not supposed to have any problems with the girls. So I guess what I'm saying, Chaz, is you have... your name is an advantage. You've already got a name that's going to set you apart a little bit. When girls hear the name Chaz, they want to be able to say to their friends, Chaz asked me out. Chaz wants to go to the movies. You know, it's not bad. It's not bad. But as I'm sure you know, Chaz, that's not the whole story. All right? If it were just a name, I'd be showered in women, right? Who wouldn't want to go out with the big diesel, right? I'm just saying. But in all seriousness, okay. Does Chaz say how old he is? Let's see. I'm young and I don't understand girls yet. Well, okay, so he doesn't say how old. Well, Chaz, I hope you're looking forward to being old and not understanding how girls work. But you're going to understand a little better. But here's my advice. And grain of salt. Grain of salt. Okay. I'm no Casanova, okay? No. I'm like the Sean Dunstan of whatever. Boyfriends. Whatever. Okay, I've got a very low batting average. I'm good enough to be in the majors. I've got something to offer. But I'm no Barry Bonds. Okay, now that we have this out of the way, I'm going to point out one of Lady's comments, which is I think we're right on. She says, Chaz, just be friends first. Okay, so yes, what I'm this idea, I'm trying to think back to when my girlfriends, right? How did it work? Well, it wasn't like a transaction. It wasn't like a conversation. It's something that just sort of happened over time. So what you're trying to do is you're just what it's really about, Chaz, is you're trying to just move in the right direction. Okay. So it's not, you don't come right out and say, will you be my girlfriend? No, it's not how, it's how would it really look? It's like, you know, that new Venom movie looks kind of interesting. I'm going Friday night. You want to go? It's stuff like that. You're just kind of inching forward. It's inching forward. And when someone is your girlfriend, it's something that you just realize. You realize over time. It becomes kind of obvious. All right? So don't sweat. How does this happen? It's not an on and off switch. The on and off switches are the little steps along the way. Can I get her to have a coffee with me? Does she want to chat on the phone for a little bit? You know, little texts back and forth. How was your day? You're trying to subvert your way into her life, okay? To where she just doesn't realize it until it's too late that you're a part of her life, right? So there are little steps, little milestones along the way. Don't worry about a conversation with a contract. That's not how it works. Tank says, give her a note that says, do you like me? Check yes or no. I mean, we don't know how old Chaz is, so maybe that might be effective depending upon their ages. Oh my God, that's so funny. So I do think that's a sweet letter, though. And Chaz, by the way, everyone's confused about love, okay? That's normal. That's the normal state of affairs. It's a wonderful, marvelous, mysterious thing. And through most of your life, it's going to piss you off. It's the way it is. Spice of life. But there are going to be moments that make it all worthwhile. All the bullshit is worthwhile. You'll have these little moments where it's like, I'll be goddamn. This is why I went through all that shit for this moment right here, right here. And then about 5 minutes later, your lady's going to be like, would you take your shoes off, you know, before you come into the living room? Shit like that. And then you'll be right back to, why the fuck did I do this? Okay, next letter. Dear Tony, I'm 20 years old and in college. I've been dating my girlfriend for 1 year now. I think she is amazing. I mean, I really, really love her. The thing is, I think she deserves better than me. Like, I'm not even joking. I look at the two of us and I can honestly say she should be with someone much better. The thing is, I can't let go of her. I can't get myself to the place where I can break up with her. I think breaking up would be the honorable thing to do. Have you ever been in this situation? This is from Brad from Michigan. Have I ever been in a situation where I'm dating a girl and I'm thinking, she deserves better than me? No, Brad. No. But that's just me. Dude, I think you sound like a pretty intense person. Some people, I'm very hard on myself. Okay, in my heart of hearts, it seems like you're very hard on yourself. It seems like you're taking this all a little bit too seriously, especially you're a college dude. Just take a breath. Just take a breath. And Plumber is right. Plumber is right. Relationships will not work out if you're always thinking you're not good enough. This is absolutely true. This won't work. This will not work long term, Brad from Michigan, okay? So this ain't going to work. Tank has a very good comment. Make yourself better. Quit being a pussy. This is the essence. RoboKitty totally agrees. And yes, lady is noticing that I'm getting a lot of letters about love today. Tony's advice to the lovelorn. Yeah, so this is, Brad, this is not, this, okay, so this is about you, I think, in my opinion. Now, I mean, she's your girlfriend right now, okay? So you must have, there must be some reason, okay? And you really care about her. Are there profanity settings on the chat, lady letter carrier? This is hilarious. If there are, then you're not going to be able to read half of Tank's comments. Plumber says, keep it up or she will dump you. I think that's true. So we gotta, you gotta change your mindset. Now, I will say, I'm a believer in intuition. Okay, so what I'm saying is, this intuition that's talking to you, right? Oh, she could do better and all that stuff. May sound weird, but there's probably a little bit of truth in that. But what you need to do then is do something about that. It just gets back to what Tank said. Now it's very hard to do, but fucking change yourself. This is about changing yourself. If you bail from this thing and don't face it with a girl that you say you love, you speak very highly of, first of all, it's gonna eat at you. Plumber says, Dr. Tony now taking patient 15. Oh my God. Anyway, if you bail on this girl for this reason, oh, she could do better. I know she could do better. That's fucked up. That's going to eat at you forever. Face it head on. Now you have this intuition. She could do better. Why? What needs to change in you? You know, within the realm of possibility. I think for relationships, what you're trying to do is be the best you can be. Be the best you can be. That's it. So like for me, okay, if I'm trying to be the best me I can be, it's not gonna be, I'm not gonna have the expectation, right, that I need to be some sort of GQ model. It's just not gonna happen. That's not me, right? But there's all sorts of other shit that I can do to be the best me, to take care of myself, to try and be healthy, to try and have like a healthy, balanced life, you know? So that when that right person comes along where you say, oh my gosh, I can't stop thinking about that person. Now you have something to offer. You have some. Now you're already in the relationship, okay? So time's a wasting. Don't worry about her so much. Worry about yourself. Tank says, if you bail, you'll rethink it for years and have regret of what could have been. This is totally true. This is what I'm saying. Plumber says the younger generations seem to make dating a lot harder than it has to be. A lot of truth in that. I don't begrudge them. Can you imagine dating? I mean, if I'm let's say I'm a high schooler, and which means I'm surrounded by pornography, right? I mean, how do you approach dating with that? Everyone has to be so fucked in the head. Excuse my French. Anyway, let's see. Oh, 7:58. What do you know? Let's see. Do I have? Let's get another letter. Dear Tony, what are you going to do with yourself when you are done building your podcasting empire? How long do you think you will stick with this? This is from Alan F. from Greensboro, North Carolina. Plumber, did you say you're near? Are you near there? Greensboro, North Carolina. You said where you were near, and now I can't remember. That would be so weird if we got a letter from near where you are. Okay, what am I going to do when I'm done building my podcasting empire? Well, I hope rest a little bit. I would like to do some fishing. I would like to play some golf. I would, I mean, I don't know. How long am I going to do this? I don't really know. I mean, I really enjoy this. This is something I'm compelled to do for some weird reason. I'm enjoying it. It gives me something new to master, which is really good. And so, shoot. I mean, presumably, maybe I'll never stop totally. But there's, I've already done this. I'm coming up on a solid year. We will have done over 200 episodes in my first year of doing this shit. And Plumber's 40 miles north of Charlotte, says Lady Letter Carrier. I don't really know. Oh, that's 45 minutes east of me, says Plumber. That's weird. It's pretty close, Greensboro. All right, Alan F. Yeah, I don't know how long I'll do it. I'm having a great time. I'm making all sorts of lovely friends. So I have no plans of stopping anytime soon. I'll put it that way. I could see myself doing this for, decades, really. Okay, dear Tony, longtime lurker in the live stream, and I just wanted you to know that I see your face thinning out a bit over these last few weeks. Whatever you are doing, keep it up. Your energy seems good, too. This is from Alice from Downers Grove, Illinois. Downers Grove, Illinois. That's the hood. That's the old neighborhood. I think isn't some of you Chicago people, isn't Downers Grove where the Omega restaurant is on Ogden there? That was my go-to place to take dates back in the day. Plumber's in Statesville, North Carolina. Anyway, thank you. That's great to hear. You feel like my face is thinning out a little bit. And, I think it is too. I see it in the mirror. I got my top button today. I know you guys just love when I do that. Let me turn off this phone call graphic thing. So yeah, I feel like it's going good. What am I doing? It's the keto, right? My secret is just listen to what RoboKitty says. That's my big secret. And thank you for noticing, though. That's great. I guess whatever. We'll see if I can keep it going. I haven't had sugar for like 3 weeks. I maybe haven't had processed food. I think depending upon how you look at it, for like 3 weeks. I feel great. I'm feeling really good. Let's do one more letter. Dear Tony, in response to a letter about whether or not to tell Mom, who is in a nursing home with dementia, about the sale of her house, I totally agree there is no need to tell her the details. She won't understand or retain anyway. When in that condition, it's best to simply be pleasant and act positive. They are looking to clues in you, such as tone of voice and body language, to feel like everything is okay. God bless everyone who is suffering in this way. This is from Janine K. Yeah, so that was the letter yesterday. This lady, her mom is in the nursing home. She has dementia. And they have to sell the mom's house. And the mom's asking about the house. How's the house doing? And yeah, my advice yesterday was you don't have to tell her you're selling the house. Just lie to her. So Janine agrees. I think all the pepperonis were saying that yesterday too. Well, see you, Tank. Have a good day, buddy. Oh, Plumber says, before long, Tony, you will be buying new shirts. Yeah, you know what? Of course, with the changeover of the seasons anyway, I might have been doing some of that anyway. I was actually, before the show this morning, I was kicking around on the internet. It's like, where am I going to get some stuff? We'll see. It's been great. Thank you, guys, for putting up with this faux pas. Now I got to spend time today figuring out why can't I live stream on Reddit. This should be interesting. Lord knows what I'm going to find out. Hopefully it's just a problem on their end and I'm not persona non grata. Is that the right term? I don't know. Anyway, I love you guys and I like you guys. It's an absolute privilege to be able to do this. Thank you, lady, for your nice comments. You have a great day, too. Oh, enjoy your day off, too. Enjoy it. Okay, I will see you guys same bat time, same bat place. I'm not sure. I'll be live streaming one way or another. If Reddit will work, I'm going to do Reddit tomorrow. And if not, I'll be on this. And Vinny had better start sweating bullets. I think this went pretty okay for doing this by myself. All right? Less stress even. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. In the meantime, I want to remind you, don't take any shit from anybody. Adios.